Hello everyone, my name is Ajmeruddin and welcome to my channel Analyze with Ajmeruddin. Today 24th November 2020 and it was examination of corporate and other laws for CA Intermediate November 2020 attempt, and this paper we have on a prima facie reading. I find it a little lengthy, and normal reading of this question paper would take itself half an hour, and there was many things given in the single question, and relatively you need to relate many things from the Companies Act and then other negotiation instrument act. So it took a lot of time to students to attempt this question paper. There was a lack of a few things. I found that there was lack of direct questions, and if there was a direct question, it was for considerably a lesser amount of marks. So in my prima facie reading, it feels that the question paper was quite lengthy, and the student need to jot down many things to form a conclusive answer. Let us go through one by one the some of the questions are here. For example, first A part was related to your one person company provisions, and of course in one person company a person may withdraw his consent as a nominee, and then a no minor cannot be a nominee of the OPC, and there should be a member who is a resident in India, and natural person cannot be a member of more than one OPC. So these were the provisions which were to be mentioned here. Then the first B part was related to the appointment of the first auditor, which is I think mentioned in section 139, and of course the appointment has to be done by the board of directors, and board of directors within 30 days, and the office of the auditor remains till first AGM. Next point was related to first C was related to your agency agreements, and in this case, in the good faith, this agency has worked, so you can write down some of the provisions relatively right to this, and I believe that you must have written down section number 219 or and 220 in this regard, but yes, there can be other things which can be written down here. So in my opinion, that this question was, again, it was asked for a lesser amount of marks, but it relates to a various other more than one sections to be quoted. First D part was related to negotiable instrument and bill of exchange. Some parts were asked. 2A was related to share capital and debentures, and relatively reduction in authorized capital and the conversion of the paid up capital, and diluting. I think 2 rupees per share was diluted, and shareholders were revealed, so some sections were to be mentioned over here. 2B was related to your demand of quorum, and demand of quorum, if the number of members is more than 1000 but up to 5000 in public company, then 15 members must be personally present there, and this should be mentioned. And in case of a private company, there is 2 members to be personally present. There is no limit of total number of members there, and in the adjourned meeting provisions were also need to be mentioned here. Coming to 2C, it was related to section 19 of the Companies Act, where no company shall either by itself or through nominees hold the shares in the holding company, and these were some provisions which were to be mentioned here. Now coming to first D part, second D part was related to the natures of surety's liability, and natures of surety liability. And third A, question number third A was related. This was a direct question, so if you know about NFRA, you could have written down about NFRA and CSR committee, where CSR committee when to be applied for net worth net worth of 500 crores and more, and turnover of 1000 crores and more, and what are the responsibility that you could have written down here, and how many members should be there. For example, a board should consist of 3 or more directors, out of which at least one should be an independent director. Let us come to the third B part, was related to your general clause and good title, and then it was related to the second part was related to there are 2 ways to reach a city from A to B. the distance between two cities roadways is 100 kilometer and waterways is 80. So measurement of distance, which is I think it is under section 11. So in the any measurement of the distance for the purpose of Central Act, then the measurement, unless it is intentional, it should be measured in the distance of straight line or in a horizontal plane. So this definition, if you write, you could able to fetch the complete marks. If I come to the C part of the questions, then the C part was related to your due diligence in declaring interim dividend. So interim dividend, again the section 123 3 and 4 provisions to be written down. Board of directors can easily declare the interim dividend during the financial year, and in the holding of AGM they need to disclose and declare this matter. And then again, penalty to pay the interim dividend is same as the penalty on the final dividend. And fourth D part was again related to your negotiable instrument act. Let us come to the fourth A. Fourth A was related to your eligible company for deposits and maximum deposit that could be accepted. So this was related to first of all definition, which is given in rule number 2A, which means that a public company as referred in section 76, having net worth of not less than 100 crore rupees or a turnover not less than 500 crore, and which has obtained the prior consent in a general meeting by members of special resolution, and also filed said resolution with ROC of the company. So these are some provisions which you could have written down. Then coming to the B part, fourth B was related to your again the declaration of final dividend, and I believe that a paid up share capital plus free reserves. Free reserves was a technical term which should be taken off, and 1/10 of the share capital, paid up share capital and free reserves to be used as a maximum amount of dividend to be drawn from the profits. So I believe this was you were able to write down this question paper easily, this question easily, because this was a direct questions of section 123. So I believe that this was quite an easy. Coming to 4C, again a direct question. Now 4C, if you know the definition of affidavit and the good faith, which is mentioned in section number 3 and section number 3 clause 22, then you could able to answer these two. And affidavit shall include the affirmation and declaration in case of a person by law allowed to affirm or declare instead of swearing. So instead of swearing, the affirmation or declaration in proper form and documentary form is called affidavit. And in the good faith means a thing that shall be deemed to be in a good faith, where it is fact done in honesty, whether it is done negligently or not. So these were the thing which you must have write. Then write a short note on proviso with reference to the rules of interpretation. Again, it's related to interpretation of rules. Coming to 5th A was prohibition on issue of shares, which is mentioned in prohibition on issue of shares at discount, which is mentioned in section number 53.